Honestly, for the last few months, deep in my soul, I had a confidence. I had a confidence and a belief that Edwin Diaz would come back. I had a confidence and belief that eventually the Mets would do the right thing with Pete Alonso and he would be back. But Joe B, for months, has warned none of that would happen. And so let's hear from him, the legend himself. He joins us every Monday, usually after Jet losses. But today, I needed to hear his voice. We all needed to hear his voice because today is an all-time sad day in the history of this decrepit franchise. Yesterday, it was Diaz. Today, it's Alonso. Bro, the floor is yours.
You know, look, bro, you know I've seen it all. Okay, I saw Tom Seaver get traded. I saw Darryl walk. I mean, I can't tell you how upset I was in both those cases. This is right there. I mean, I know it's not Seaver. I understand that, but this is right there. And let's be honest. And I texted this to you. Okay, I can't stand David Stearns. Okay, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. You know, we're gonna find out now how freaking smart David Stearns is. Okay. You're going to go out. Let's see what you're going to do now, David. Because right now, we're nowhere near the Dodgers. We're nowhere near the Phillies. We're probably nowhere near the Braves. And I tell you, bro, I don't even know if we're as good as the Marlins right now. Okay? Let's be honest about it. Right? Okay, so we're going to find out how brilliant, that Harvard education serves David Stearns. Okay? We'll see. But you know what? The guy that's the real culprit is the owner. The owner sold us a bill of goods. We all thought... We were all sucked in, bro. You said it. We all said it. Uncle Stevie's big money, and it's never going to be the same like it was with the Wilpons. And he spent money, okay? The whole Verlander, Scherzer, okay, I get it, all right? He went on and got Soto. But where is this guy? He's supposed to be like Mr. Met. I got to see him at courtside at the Garden at the playoff games with the Met hat on. What kind of Met fan are you? Telling me you're a Met fan, Cohen? Forget about Stearns. He's a fraud as far as a Met fan. He's probably got, Yankee gear at home. but Steve Cohen, you know what, bro? I don't know if I texted this. I said this to a few people today, okay? We all knew what the Wilpons were. We knew what they were. We knew they were cheap. Freddie Coupon, they would never sign anybody. Vladimir Guerrero, A-Rod, whoever it may be. They were never going to sign any of these guys, okay? Never. And he would have never signed Juan Soto. But you know what? I really believe Fred Wilpon, Jeff Wilpon, would have recognized, because they did this with David Wright, even though it didn't work out, recognized what Alonso specifically meant to the organization, and they would have signed him. I really believe that. As much as we get on the Wilpons, and this guy is nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found, this owner. He sold us a bill of good 5 years. We're going to win a championship. What? I don't care what they do. And by the way, I don't care what the little genius does now the rest of the way. I don't care. Okay? You could trade for Skubal. You could bring in, Suarez and Valdez. You could bring both of those guys in. You could get Tucker. You could get Bellinger. All of this. Okay? And it doesn't make up for this. And it doesn't make us still a better team than the Dodgers, or dare I say any of these other teams. The Dodgers had everything, and now they got the best closer in the game. What?
I don't know if that's why I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm curious how you feel about this, and I'm stunned about what I'm going to say, but we've had back-to-back days of pain. I think I was more pissed and hurt yesterday about Diaz going to the Dodgers than even Alonso to the Orioles, and I'm stunned by that, and I don't know if it's because of the Dodger thing. What hurt you more, Diaz yesterday or Alonso today?
Look, they both really hurt. Look, because let's be honest, Diaz has become an iconic Met too. I mean, I understand he wasn't a homegrown Met, but you know what? That trade, that Van Wagenen made all those years ago, Robbie Cano, it turned out to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I don't know where Kelnick is these days, but it turned out to be, a pretty good trade. And I've seen every closer there is, bro, and I don't want to go down the list. I've seen him from Ken McKenzie and Doug McGraw to Familia and Benitez and all of them. Franco, everybody, okay? This guy might have been the best we ever had. He's one of the few pitchers in baseball where when he was in the game, bro, he'd get you a little nervous. He'll hit the leadoff batter. He'll walk two guys in a row. You're going nuts. And then he'd get out. Then he'd get out of it. How many times have we seen that happen? Strike out the side, whatever it may be. He was money in the bank, and he's the best closer in the game, and they let him walk. And they let him walk for $3 million. Well, you're going to tell me that Uncle Stevie couldn't have said, wait a minute. The difference is not even years. It's $3 million. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go 4 years and $75 million. You think he would have stayed with the Mets for that? Okay.
Yeah.
Where was that? Where was Cohen?
Joe, what is more frustrating? The fact that Pete didn't even get an offer, or that Edwin Diaz apparently, and then we're just alleging this, apparently got his feelings hurt, and that's why he went to the Dodgers.
Well, look, you know what? I don't blame him. I mean, they gave this stiff Devin Williams, bro. They gave him 3 years and $51 million. You know, he loves his ex-Brewers. I mean, I think I don't know. I heard a rumor. Maybe Robin Yount would come out of retirement. Maybe Paul Molitor's going to take over for Alonso. I don't know. Okay, because he loves his, Mr. Brewer there. Okay. I mean, what? I mean, you got to be. I'm beside myself. I really am with this guy. I am just completely beside myself. This guy was an iconic Met, Pete Alonso. How do you let him walk? But getting back to Devin Williams, that's right. We're talking about him. Getting back to him. Yeah. You gave him 3 years and $51 million, right? I'm the best closer in the league. And what are you giving me? This team has given me more. You got to go above and beyond for a guy like that. Come on, you couldn't have given him 4 years because he's got 4 solid years left. Who's kidding who? And gave him $75 million, whatever it was. What a disgrace. And let's be honest, okay? And I heard one of the guys, you know the name, I'm not going to say his name, but I heard him last night on SNY try to say to the world that Devin Williams was as good a closer as Edwin Diaz. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. You know what? Devin Williams, in the biggest game of his life, gave it up to Pete Alonso.
Bro, here's the thing. Okay. And you just nailed it.
Right.
Devin Williams was a fine regular season closer for the Milwaukee Brewers. But where we measure our closers, it's why we don't celebrate Armando Benitez. He was a fine regular season closer.
He was terrific in the regular season.
Spit the bit when it mattered. The same thing with that overrated stiff Billy Wagner, who I don't want to celebrate.
Oh, my God. Hall of Famer? He's in the Hall of Fame. But you know what? Don Mattingly is not.
But that's the issue with Devin Williams. Like, you ask me right now, Joe, can Devin Williams have a good year as closer for the Mets? Sure he can. Do I trust him?
No.
In the biggest of moments that Edwin Diaz ended up proving to us we could. That is the $1 million question for any Met closer. Yeah, you can save games in May. What are you going to do when the chips are down?
Yeah. Look, bro, it's unbelievable. And like you said, to go to the Dodgers. So the Dodgers, who already are back-to-back world champions, they're already loaded to the freaking gills. Hall of Famers everywhere. The best player in baseball, right? They got the one starting pitcher that pitches 9 innings. It's ridiculous. And now you're going to give him the best closer? And you're going to tell me, and David Stearns is going to try to tell me that we're competing for a championship this year? Are you kidding? Come on, bro. Just look at the moves that this guy has done so far. He trades another homegrown Met, Brandon Nimmo, for this over-the-hill second baseman who's 3 years older. You know, he loves OPS. Well, I mean, Nimmo only had 100-point OPS more than Simeon does. He had 30 more RBIs. He's 3 years younger, and this is the trade you made. You signed Williams for this stupid ridiculous with Devin Williams, and now you let 2 iconic Mets walk away. You got to be kidding me, bro. How are we? I don't care if he gets. I told you, I don't care if he gets schooled. And you know what? I really think this is what's going to happen. I actually put him on the other day for a second, okay? I don't want anything to do with him. Everybody's telling me, Stearns is going to speak 6:30 tomorrow on SNY. Okay, great. I actually was watching the president's speech. Forget Stearns. Okay? Give me a break. Whatever, okay? But I did put it on for 2 minutes, and there he is with that, he's got that, S-eating grin on his face and all of that. I'm smarter than everybody in the room. And he's sitting there talking about how, we got the best farm system in baseball, one of the best. You know what that means, bro? That they're not going to they're going to make moves. They have to do something with the rotation. I mean, they have no rotation. They've got to do something. But I'm telling you, don't be shocked if he's going to have Jet Williams and this kid, what's his name, the center fielder?
Carson Bench.
And that's our center and left fielder starting next year. Don't be shocked. And then you're going to try to, what are you going to do? McNeil's going to, somebody told me that they're talking about signing Paul Goldschmidt?
Yes. A Jeff McNeil, Paul Goldschmidt platoon at first base. They're internally discussing
and we're better. Yeah. No way, we're better. Yeah. Is he going to trade Lindor? Is he thinking about trading him too? Well, how about that?
Is he going to do that? Would you put it past him?
I put nothing by Stearns.
Right.
And I'm telling you right now, his little rear end is on the line because we're going to find out, Ev, just how freaking smart David Stearns is. And I'm going to tell you this, one more thing, too. But the owner, really, I'm pissed at the owner. I can't tell you how ticked off I am at him because he sold us a bill of goods. You know, we couldn't wait. We were doing a dance. The Wilpons are gone. Oh, thank God. And this guy's a phony. Really, like I said, we knew what the Wilpons were. This guy sold us a bill of goods, and now he's turning it to be the biggest phony in the world. And you didn't even talk to Pete. You didn't even talk to this guy. Bro.
They let him leave. They're like, nah, we're not going 5 years, so why bother? Why bother?
Nah, they didn't want him. Stearns never wanted him. The only reason he came back last year is because nobody was signing him, and because that fan fest, and I doubt they're having any fan fest this year. I mean, can
you imagine the reactions today?
No, there's no way they will expose David Stearns to the fan base. I'm telling you, he could get Babe Ruth. I'm telling you. And they're not exposing him to the fan base.
That's the question.
That's the only reason, bro, because the fans went nuts.
Yep.
And Cohen got a little ticked off and said, we better sign the guy, and they gave him a crap contract. Let's be honest, bro. I'm telling you. I hate to say this because I love my team. The clock is ticking. I want to win a championship. I want to be with my old partner on at the parade. Okay?
Amen.
All right? I want to be at the parade. You and I had to go to parades for teams we don't root for. We were at two giant parades.
I know.
We were at a freaking Yankee parade. Okay?
Yes.
You know the deal.
Yes.
Okay? All right? I want to be at a parade because I didn't go to any of the parades. The Jets didn't even have a parade. I didn't go to, 86. I didn't go to that or 69. I didn't go to the Ranger parade. I don't think the Knicks didn't have a parade that I remember. Okay? But whatever. Okay? I want to go to a parade that's my team. I want to be there with my good buddy and great Met fan that he is, Evan Roberts, who has never seen a championship. At least I've seen him, even though it's like, a little younger than. But whatever. At least I've seen it. I want to be with you on the not the float, but just being there at the parade.
Trust me, we're not on the float anymore. Stearns is going to make sure of that.
Well, Stearns, let me tell you, bro, I'm confident that Stearns will not be on the float either.
No.
I'm confident that David Stearns will not be the general manager when we win another championship. I am confident of that. And I am very disappointed in this owner. He sold us a bill of goods, and he stuck it right up our rear end. Let's be honest about it. That's exactly what he did. And the worst move he made was he hired this guy. This guy is a small market GM who is here I really believe this, to run the Mets like a small market team. He spent his money. He paid for Soto. The money he spent on Birdland, the Scherzer, all that, whatever didn't work out and all of that. He's not spending money no more, bro. I'm telling you. That's exactly what's going on here. He is now, supposedly, with all Uncle Stevie's beautiful money. Maybe Uncle Stevie doesn't have as much beautiful money as we think. Or if he does, he's more concerned about his casinos and his Rembrandts. That's my feeling.
Or his gold toilets that he buys and sells.
Is that what he does?
Yeah, he bought a gold toilet and then recently sold the said gold toilet.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Well, maybe you can send me a gold toilet so I can puke my brains out into it, okay, after this?
That's all of us today. It's a sad couple of days, bro. Hopefully we'll be on that parade, but it doesn't feel like we're close right now.
You still got, bro, the only thing I'll say is you still got a lot of years. My clock is ticking, but it's a sad day for the New York Mets today.
No
question about it.
Thank you, Joe. We love you, man.
Thank you, Joe. Good luck,
man. God bless, guys.
The great Joe Benigno, feeling the pain and the suffering from what has been a brutal 48 hours for New York Met fans.
You didn't have to talk in that one.
The moment.
Just let him go.
The moment Joe leaves this earth, I am immediately betting the Mets to win the World Series and the Jets to win the Super Bowl. I have to do it.
Joe has told me that before. And I'll never forget, we were on a plane back from Tampa, Florida. We went to see Mets Rays that weekend. And the plane featured incredible turbulence. Like, I never felt a plane move like that.
Yeah, feels like the wings are going to fall off.
And Joe said to me as this moment of death was about to occur, he said two things. First, he said, Chernoff's going to save some dollars on the midday show. And then he said, I got to tell people, bet the Jets. Because as soon as this plane goes down, bro, you know what's going to happen. And, well, we survived, and the Jets haven't. So that's how the last 15 years has gone.